have any ambition to go get things done. Use it to move. How are you retaining that? And at the same time, still is the exact opposite of how you're supposed to think. Go try to fulfill what he has to fulfill, and go get things done, and go move, and get you to fall into things that will take you, today I'm going to talk about something that I see a lot of Christian men doing, and, something that, kind of I don't understand why they do it, and what made them think it was okay to do those things, right? And we're going to talk about laziness. A lot of Christian men these days are very, very lazy. They play video games. They don't have a purpose. They're not putting any effort into anything. And when you are a lazy person as a man, it's very hard to gain respect from people. And when you can't gain respect, it's very hard to influence someone in a certain direction, right? So if you don't have respect and you don't have influence that comes from your hard work, it's very hard to preach the gospel to someone and get them to listen to you, right? They're not going to listen to you if they feel you aren't someone who is disciplined, if you aren't someone who keeps his word to himself, if you aren't someone who does what he has to do no matter how he feels. And I always wonder how Christian men are lazy. How do you just sit there and just be so relaxed and calm all the time and always don't have any ambition to go get things done? Especially since you're not supposed to be given into your lust. How do you able to retain your lust, retain your life force that gives you all of this energy, all of this irritable energy that becomes irritable if you are too still and you have to use it to move? How are you retaining that and at the same time still procrastinating to get things done? When you're retaining your life force, you get energy to do a whole lot of things that you're supposed to use to become a great man, right? So I don't understand how you could be a lazy Christian when you shouldn't be given into your lust. So it always kind of confused me there, right? And, they'll hide behind this, what's the point of following a purpose if this life doesn't matter and we have eternity after this? That is the exact opposite of how you're supposed to think. God already has a purpose chosen for you. You cannot find that purpose if you are a lazy person. You cannot find that purpose if you are someone who tends to procrastinate and tends to not go try to fulfill what he has to fulfill. Right? If you are a true believer and you truly believe that there's an eternal life after this short life that we live, right? That means you are living for God. When you are living for God, that means there are going to be a lot of things that are subtracted out of your life that hold you back. Now, when these things are subtracted out of your life that hold you back, that should give you the motivation to get up and go do, and go get things done, and go move. Right? God despises lazy people. You can read Proverbs, you can read Psalms, you can read any of his works where he says a sluggard is something that he hates. He does not like a sluggard. A sluggard is one of the easiest ways for the devil to attack you. The devil loves an idle mind. It's not just a saying. He loves when you're bored. He loves when you're relaxed. He loves when you procrastinate, because now he can attack you and get you to fall into things that will take you away from Christ. It's a lot easier to smoke weed if you're not busy all day. It's a lot easier to drink if you're consistently relaxed. Right? I'm always moving, bro. Always moving. People have to tell me to go sit down, and I still won't. Because a lot of the people that tell me to relax, I don't want to be like. And I mean that in the most humble way possible. If I see someone that they don't live a life that I would want to live, it's going to be very hard for me to listen to them. And that has nothing to do with money. That has nothing to do with being in shape. That has to do with the way you live your life. If you live your life as someone who is a lazy man, I'm not listening to you. Because how are you a lazy man and you're trying to give people advice? You have things you need to work on yourself. Right? Everything you like in 2026, there's more information out there than you could imagine for you to go find something and go succeed at it. If you choose to not go ingest that information, that is a sign that you have no ambition and you are lazy. And laziness isn't natural. It's something that is trained. So laziness is trained through consistent acts of involving yourself in cheap dopamine activities, right? So when you consistently involve yourself in too many cheap dopamine activities, whether it be watching Netflix, playing video games, watching porn, drinking, smoking, all of these things are going to make you lazy because they give you a false sense of assurance. They help you escape the reality that you hate, right? You're not living, you're escaping reality. When people say, oh, I only have one life to live, I'm going to do whatever I want, 9 times out of 10, they're not trying to live this one life. They're trying to escape it. And that is why people fall into hedonism. Hedonism can only lead you down a darker path and make you feel more of a shell of yourself than you felt before you fell into the hedonistic treadmill. It's only so far you can go with hedonism before you become a monster. It's so many women you could sleep with. It's only so much porn you could watch. It's only so much drinking you could do. It's only so much drugs you can take before you become a monster and you start looking to weird shit to fulfill your heart, bro. And you're never gonna find it. The only thing that fulfills man's heart is eternal life. And because eternal life is the only thing that fulfills man's heart, that means you need to be living for God in order to understand, for you to obtain that eternal life. And when you are living for God, you should not be lazy. You should be on a purpose. You should actually be working harder than everybody else. I work because God gave me the ability to work. I work whether I am blessed with things or I'm not blessed with things. Because God does not owe me things. I owe God a lot. I owe God working hard. I owe God putting my all into everything I do. To show him that I appreciate and his creation, which is me, and I appreciate the fact that he allowed his son to die for my sins. So if I appreciate that, I'm going to take this life that I have and take it as serious as possible. And that means following a purpose to create other disciples. So if you are a Christian man and you are lazy, you should be ashamed of yourself, because you're holding the movement back. You're holding the truth back. Because you're not allowing yourself to be respected by others. Nobody respects a lazy man. Go get things done. Go achieve. Go accomplish. Put down the video game. Put down the TV. Show God that you are truly appreciative of the body, the limbs, the voice, the tone, the air you breathe, the world he lets you live in, how he holds everything together for you, and do it without ever thinking about a blessing. The reason you guys are so lazy is because you think, what if I put in all this hard work and I don't get anything out of it? I don't care if I get anything out of it. I do it to sleep at night, because if I wake up and I put the actions in to fulfill my purpose, I can sleep at night. I can be proud of myself because I gave my all towards the day. Whether I'm blessed with things or not by God, that's up to him. But the work I can do. The work I can do regardless if I get something or not. I don't react with emotion. I react with logic. And the logical option always is to work hard. Sorry, I don't know where that lady was going. Right? So this is a very underlooked sin, laziness. I despise laziness, bro. I know grown men, 60, 70 years old, who blame everybody else for their problems and never ever looked at themselves in the mirror and because they were lazy. Laziness takes away all accountability because you as a man don't even want to admit that you're lazy. It's hard for you to admit that because that means that you would have to make a change. But you don't want to make that change. And then you're going to end up the 70, 80-year-old dude bitter at younger men who work hard, who make moves, because you didn't put in the work when you were a certain age and you just let life coast by. Two, when you have a son or you have a daughter, do you want them to know that they have a lazy father? I don't think you guys understand that when you have kids, your kids pick up on things. Sorry, my thing dropped. But back to what I was saying, I don't think you guys understand when you have kids, your kids are going to pick up on the fact of your habits and your mannerisms. And if you are a lazy dad, your kids may not ever say anything, but they will naturally not respect you. If you are a dad who is someone where you make excuses for everything about your life, your kids will naturally pick up on that and they will say, yeah, my dad's a loser. Imagine your own kids thinking that. And the crazy part is you may never know. They're just never going to listen to you. Do you really want to be the dad who tells their child something and they don't listen to you because they don't respect who you became? Ask yourself that question, right? So I'm gonna leave people with that, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave people with that. Kind of a shorter video, but follow me at Official Spider, OFFICALSPIDA. Thank you for watching. You know, I have more stuff coming soon, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.